Let us now enter into a very important section of the Ashtadhyayi. This section starts from 3.3.18, sutram called Bhave. Also the next sutram, Akartari Chakarake Sanyayam. Now these two, the anuvritti of these two rules, it goes all the way down up to 3.3.1.12, Akroshe Nayanihi. Now that is basically all the way prior to 3.3.1.13, Krityalato Bahulam. Krityalato Bahulam, prior to that. So up to 3.3.1.12, this section of Bhave as well as Akartricha Karake Sanyayam. It runs down all the way up to there. So this is the main section where Panini derives masculine as well as feminine nouns from verbal roots. Let us begin by considering 3.3.18, Bhave. Anuvritti of Ghai comes from 3.3.16, Pada Ruja Visha Sprisho Ghai, down into 3.3.18. And hence the vritti of this sutram says, Siddhavasthapanne Dhatvarthe Vache Dhator Ghai, which means that the affix Ghai may be used following a verbal root to denote the sense of the verbal root as having attained to a completed state. Okay, let's look at this now. We have seen this concept of bhave before. For example, when we are doing the Tinganta Prakaranam, at that time we have looked at the sutram 3.4.69, Lah karmani cha bhave cha karmakebhyaha. This term bhave is not new to us. Actually, even before going there, let us remind ourselves of 3.4.67 kartari krit, which means that unless something else is said, 3.4.67 tells us that any krit pratyaya, including the pratyaya ghai, which of course has the krit sanya because it's in the adhikar of kridating, which starts from 3.193. So if nothing were said, then the affix ghai would be used kartari. But now Panini is saying bhave. Now this bhave is of two types. Bhava is basically dhatvartha, the sense conveyed by the verbal root, the activity conveyed by the verbal root. Verbal root means there is some action, and that action conveyed by the verbal root, that root sense, is called bhavaha. But now that bhavaha is distinguished into two types by the grammarians. The first kind of bhavaha or dhatvartha, the sense of the verbal root, is when the action is not yet complete. It is what's called as sadhyavasthapanna dhatvartha, which means that the action is yet to be accomplished. It is work in progress, but not a completed action. And this kind of bhava is expressed by using a tingantam padam, such as pachati, etc., or supyate maya. This is how a sadhyavasthapanna dhatvartha is expressed. But when the action is complete, when we have a completed act, then what's called as the siddhavasthapanna dhatvartha. When we have a completed act, then we can use this affix ghai to denote the dhatvartha, that kind of bhavaha. Mahabhashyam states that kriddhabhito bhavo dravyavat prakashate, which means that a bhavaha which is krid abhitaha, which is expressed by krid pratyaya, like this pratyaya ghai, then that bhavaha dravyavat prakashate. It appears, it manifests as a thing or a substance, and that is when we can attach gender and number to that, and it is declined to create a subantam padam. So these are these two states of action, what is called bhavaha. One is the sadhyavasthapanna, in which the thing affixes are used to express that kind of bhavaha, and the other one is siddhavasthapanna, where the krit affix, such as the affix ghai, is used to express bhavaha. Okay, now the question comes is that which gender should this pratipadikam take? This pratipadikam which is created by adding this affix ghai, which gender should it take? And that we have to go to the Linganushasanam, which is an appendix to the Ashtadhyayi. It states that घञबन, this is a sutram, the Linganushasanam, which gives the gender of words and says that a pradipadikam ending in the affix घञ or the affix up, that is used in the masculine gender. Okay, let's take one example here. Let's take this pradipadikam pak, derived from the verbal root pach, which is dupachash pake, which is of course a prasiddha dhatu, well known to us, means to cook. So we take pach and add this affix घञ by the sutram bhave to express a siddhavasthapanna dhatvartha. So means the act, the completed act of cooking. Okay, so now we remove these letters by halantyam nyakarasit sanya lashakvatadhyate ghakarasit sanya tasya lopaha, and we get pach. Oh, now the ghakara is it in the affix घञ that allows us to use 7352, which is chajoho ku ghinyatoho. So we get the kakara desha in place of the chakaraha of pach. We get the kavarga desha. So we get pak. And now we use ata upadhaya to do the vridhya desha in place of the penultimate akara of the angam pak using 72116. Because this affix घञ does have the nyakara as it, so we get pak, and pak gets the pradipadika sanya vikrit, this is samasascha. As we just mentioned, this is used in the masculine gender. It was declined like Rama Shabda, and the prathama ekvachanam is pakaha.